All right, so I've had this Breville grind and brew for about 6 months now. It was a Father's Day gift for my husband, and I cannot stand it. So for starters, it makes a mediocre cup of coffee for the price, which is a little frustrating. The carafe, I would give it like 2 stars because it does insulate really well. It's so hard to clean. You cannot adequately scrub the inside. My hand doesn't fit in, so I have to use like dissolvable stainless steel bottle cleaning tabs and scrub it with a bottle brush like crazy. Otherwise it gets gross buildup and it makes everything taste super bitter. When the lid is on, it is, even when it's off, it's super hard to pour and it never pours completely. You're literally holding it upside down like this to get the last couple drops of water or coffee out. See, gross. Even though I just scrubbed it, it's literally brown water. We always get coffee that pools up here and in this little drip tray. We're really neurotic about trying to keep this clean, and they say that you only really need to clean this and the inside burrs like once every 1.5 to 2 weeks, but we have to do it more than that, and that involves disassembling the top, taking out the components, using their little brush, this guy, to brush them out, and then also using your vacuum cleaner to clean it out, because what happens is if you don't keep it absolutely pristine, whatever sort of sensor they use causes this to either like back up and it won't put any grounds in here, or the opposite thing happens where this absolutely overflows with grounds even though we're not doing a full 12 cups, and it creates a mess. Also, this doesn't close, like we can close it like that and it looks like it's closed all the way, but it isn't, and then it pops open and makes a mess all over our kitchen. So we have to make sure it's locked in place. That's happened before. And in order, forgive the puppy barking in the background, in order to get this to actually open so that we can clean it, we have to we have to unlock the inner components, but we have to unplug the whole machine and then replug it back in for that wheel to turn so that we can clean, for the chute to actually open, which means we're constantly resetting the clock because we have to vacuum it out every couple of days. It is not worth the effort in the least. I wish I would have just gotten a separate grinder and a high quality drip coffee machine. This is just a headache, and I'm gonna put up with it for another 6 months until I can somehow in my mind slightly justify buying a different product. That's all.
So a couple tips for the Breville grind control, and you won't have any issues with it. After you brew your coffee, you got to clean this out each time between cups or between carafes. Bring it over to the sink. You want to wash this out really well. You wash this out. When you're done, you want to dry this area here and this area here really well, all inside there. This is where the coffee gets spit into the basket, and if it's wet it might build up and clog, so you want to make sure you do that. And then the other thing, underneath your bean hopper here, if you unlock, it will open up this disc, and there's directions for it right here. This is where the coffee grounds come out, and when this is unlocked you can lift it up. There's a brush here that you can use, or you can use a little pipe cleaner or straw cleaner like I do, and clean this out. So I do this probably twice a week. I come through here and clean this, and I've never had any issues with clogging. I feel like the people who have issues are people who they're not doing any cleaning. So clean this out, make sure this is nice and dry. When you close this, you put the hopper back on and lock it. Closes the disc back up. I also wipe this disc off. It'll get a little bit messy sometimes. When you're done cleaning, you can pull this little tray out, knock off the grounds into the trash, and you're good to go. So follow those tips and you shouldn't have any issues.
I actually like everything about the coffee maker with the exception of the carafe. I'm actively seeking a compatible carafe to replace it with. This portion in the center of the lid within 5 or 6 uses broke off, so we had to get a replacement lid. This is the replacement lid that we paid for. There's about 2 cups of coffee left in here. The pouring, because of the way that the interior lid is designed, you have to get on a really big angle to get the last bits of coffee out. For example, here's you can see there's still a lot of coffee left in there. And see that lip, how it hangs over on the inside? It creates like a vessel or a cup in there that captures and holds the coffee. So as you try to clean it or get the last bits of coffee, it just holds a lot of it in there. So you have to start shaking and turning it like upside down to get all the rest of the coffee out. It drives my husband crazy. He complains about it all of the time. Other than that, the coffee maker is really good.
Okay, this is the Breville built-in grinder and coffee maker. I've had it for 2 weeks and I'm already over it. If anybody says the maintenance on this is easy or a breeze, they're lying to you. To maintain it, you got to go in here and rinse this out. You got to take the basket out. You got to rinse all the grounds out of here. You got to try to clean the coffee pot out. Good luck getting in there. You also got to clean this plate back here. I got this with the hope of it would save me time and effort of making a good cup of morning coffee, but just the cleaning of this stuff is just so frustrating and doesn't make it worthwhile. All the programmable stuff is you can do with the regular drip coffee machine. The only nice feature is the single cup versus the entire carafe and the different strength options. I would try something else, so would not recommend.
Just a quick note on my coffee maker that I was talking about with the cleaning inside the unit. When you pop it open, see a little bit of coffee on the wheel? You've got to keep that clean, otherwise it'll start to leak. Also, oh, and by the way, I just made a cup of coffee. To clean the port, when you open this, she opens and now the wheel's at the top and allows you to get in there and clean it. I just use a little tiny screwdriver to get in there. You can use anything that won't damage it, but that clears the port in between the grinding burrs and the discharge into the coffee filter pot. That little rubber thing does wear out over time and you do need to replace it. You can get parts for these Breville's, so that's not an issue. It'll just start to leak more consistently. But, yeah, excellent machine.
Here is the standard review of the Breville Grind Control Coffee Machine, BDC650BSS, in brushed stainless steel. This Breville coffee machine is the secret to coffee house quality coffee at home. My blood type is basically coffee, if this resonated with you. You know, I cannot function properly without a solid cup of high-octane coffee. The Breville Grind Control includes a built-in conical burr grinder to ensure maximum freshness and flavor extraction with each cup. You can also customize your brew with 8 strength settings, providing light, medium and bold flavor profiles. The Breville can brew anywhere from 1 to 12 cups of coffee. As a coffee nut, this is hands down the best coffee machine for high-quality coffee at home.
And that is how much coffee is left over that you cannot physically get out.
Brilliant machine.